What is going on, team? We are back here at OPEC Scout Week. Tis Sunday morning for another few minutes. Just done some exercise demo videos, about to crack on with my own session, and it is conditioning day, and I'm here to show you that it's not purely ERG kit. And today, basically, I'm going to be kind of combining some ERG kit sprints with some strongman conditioning style work with some sandbags, some pushes, some pulls, some drags, some carries, that stuff, and just kind of to showcase how awesome marrying those two different kind of approaches and techniques are when it comes to conditioning stuff. It's both anabolic and metabolic, so it's not like doing a 15K run 3 times a week where you're chipping away at body fat, but you might also be burning muscle, you might also be knackering your joints. A lot of this stuff works at full range, it's actually quite low impact, it's still anabolic, so the chances are you're still building muscle, so it kind of ticks every single box. Quick warm up from me, and then let's get cracking. Okay, so I'm warmed up, I'm ready to go. We have 2 different stations on this first little part of the workout. We have a 60 kilo sandbag, and we have a BIKEERG. And effectively, I'm going to do 4 lengths with the sandbag, and then 15 cows on the BIKEERG. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with an AMRAP. This is the way that I kind of structure my conditioning sessions. The work to rest ratio kind of changes throughout. I usually start off with an AMRAP, and then start to chip away. Effectively, my output gets quicker and quicker over the course of the session. So I do an AMRAP for 12 minutes with this, 60 kilo sandbag, 4 lengths, and effectively what I am going to do, actually, I'm going to drop it at each end just so that I get a little bit more workload in there, with the fact I have to then drop down and pick it back up again. Straight into the BIKEERG. I'm interested to see how my legs do, because I think my glutes are going to start firing, and obviously it's hard to breathe with the sandbag. But the BIKEERG is just pure quads, and luckily quads are, obviously they're involved in carries, but I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like top of the hamstring and glute a little bit more. 12 minutes, I'm procrastinating, I don't want to do it. Let's go. Well, that was fun. That was actually alright, to be honest. I think I timed that quite well. Quads that were done over on the BIKEERG didn't really suffer too much actually on the carries, because it's just all posterior chain. And flipping heck, that tiny little tweak that I introduced about 10 seconds before I started, of dropping it at each end and then picking it up, oh, that makes all the difference, man. You just gotta overcome that full range down to the ground. Got to overcome that inertia on the first bit of the pull and then dropping under the regrip. Not only was obviously that taking longer because you drop it, but I think it takes a lot more out of the tank. So that's good. 12-minute AMRAP. I think I could maybe gone a little bit quicker, but for me this is like, I think, 8th session in a row kind of day today, so I think I'm due a rest day. But overall this isn't a bad one to be doing, and I just love this kind of training. I just think it's a lot less monotonous. A lot of people share the ambition that they want to do. They want to A, build a little bit of an engine, and B, obviously work on body composition, stay or get nice and lean. And realistically, this kind of, so conditioning, by virtue of that, conditioning work is kind of necessary, but this kind of conditioning work, A, I believe it does it better, and B, it's still anabolic, so it's not like you're combating or losing your gains from the weight room. So for me, just tick so many boxes. Quick rest now. And then in a second, I shall show you what section 2 of the day is. Guys, we're on to section 2. Again, a little bit more strongman conditioning, as that is the theme of the day. So sled, push and pull times 3. So the first one will be like push there, pull back, push there. So 2 pushes. And then the next one, because it's left at the end, will be 2 pulls and 1 push. You get it. And then SKIERG 15 cows. We're going to do that in EMOM for 10 minutes. This is kind of a bit of guesswork. I have no idea how the hell I'm going to feel after this, but this is super heavy kind of quad base, both the push and the pull. Super VMO base, and this is a little bit more kind of hinge work and a little bit of pull with the upper body. So those numbers are quite high. I'm only going to do a 10-minute EMOM, but I'm hoping this takes around 40-45 seconds. Give me only around about 15 seconds break. And I have a feeling this is going to be a lot spicier than I think, but I'd rather keep it a little bit more intense like this, rather than drop the numbers down to a lower intensity and do the same thing for 20 minutes. That's not really my goal. My goal is to be good in the domain of anything between about 3 minutes and 12. I'm not too bothered. I mean, I have started to run again, but other than that, that's more kind of recreational for just me and my headspace. But in terms of my conditioning and my Metcon ability, I want to be good within a shorter paradigm as opposed to, you know, be able to go for 90 minutes. Basically, that's kind of the goal. Crack on with this now and see how we get on. That sucked. That was a lot cheekier than the first bit with the sandbag carries. I'll be honest, that's kind of what I wanted. I kind of felt alright. I think I kept a fairly steady pace throughout. I definitely picked up the pace for both the sleds and the SKIERG for the last bit. And even though again on the ski, you know, some people might say you don't really need to do that on an EMOM, as long as you kind of get it done, that's a win. But I don't know, I think it's a pretty shit attitude, to be honest. If you've got an opportunity to kind of empty the gas tank a little bit before you finish, then you should. I'll give myself about 5 minutes now, rehydrate a bit, crack on with section 3. And even though I've just done a little sprint finish and taken more out of the tank, again, I'm kind of always trying to chip away at my body's ability to recover quicker. So hopefully this will serve that well. Quick sip of water, then on to section Trez. Right guys, on to section 3, and we have rope sled pull ×1, so you can just about kind of see it here. Rope is all the way down at the other end, so I'll be down on my bum, arm over arm, pulling the sled towards me, and then I'm literally going to jump. Well, I'll feed the rope actually back up here, and then I'll do 200 meters on the curve runner. So I'm going to do that twice. So one rope sled pull, 200 meters, one rope pull, 200 meters, and then, so it's this ×2, 90 seconds break, and then I'm going to go around 3 times. It's a little bit more of a sprint, especially on the second round of each. But again, there's no reason why you can't kind of bolt together standard conditioning stuff like curve runners, like SKIERGs, like BIKEERGs, but with some strongman stuff to make sure that you're still getting a little bit of kind of growth hormone release, you're still working that musculature as well, as opposed to just focusing on the aerobic system. And again, overall, other than the runs, this is a very kind of low impact day, so it's not smashing up our joints too much, but some of the stuff's full range of movement. Mwah! Perfect programming, if I don't say so myself. Section Trez, let's get going. Round 1 done. 2 rounds of the rope sled pull and the run for the curve runner. Like I said earlier, I've started running again, and for the first time in about 2 years, just because I want to be able to do it without pain. So I've had a lot of calf problems, a lot of Achilles problems. I've had a lot of stem cells in my Achilles over the last couple of years, or well, during one period about 2 years ago. I did a 5K yesterday, just kind of cruising conversation pace. Flipping heck, man, I can feel it today. So my calves are like super tight on the curve runner. The rope feels fine. When you're gassed on the second rope pull, definitely feels a bit different. But I've got to be smart with the way that I approach the curve runner now, and make sure that I get a training adaptation from it, make sure that I push myself, but not do anything too stupid. Round 2, let's go. That's round 2. Calves, annoyingly enough, now kind of feel okay. There's my little kind of popliteal pad, like a little pad at the back of your knee that stops you like hyperextending. So the quad's normally a little bit stronger, or should be. And that's what I'm starting to feel now. it's like the pain is still there, but it's traveling a little bit. But about another 75 seconds, then we'll get this done, and that wraps up this beautiful session. Fuck me. That was miserable. That was spicy. That last one actually, that third round, I kind of strangely felt a little bit better on the first rope pull and the first curve runner run. And I was like, this is great. And then halfway through, and I went through a little bit quicker, I felt myself just kind of jump on. And then halfway through the second rope pull, it hit me like a sledgehammer. Got very heavy very quickly. And then on the curve runner, I tried a couple of times to give it a little bit of a kick, increase that cadence a little bit, and it was like back on my knees, just started hurting, as well as the fact that that second run was pretty spicy. But I'm glad I got that done. Again, 3 different sections, as you've seen, all combining. It's like heavy cardio, right? So you combine a little bit of strongman stuff, which again, in my opinion, is one of the best training methodologies. But when we think of it, a lot of the time we associate the kind of physique that strongman training would give and the kind of level of health it might give to, you know, 6'10" men with really, really high body fat percentages. Because they're the guys that compete at the international level. Think of Eddie Hall, think of Brian Shaw, and obviously phenomenal athletes, incredibly strong, but probably carrying a little bit more body fat than we'd like to, right? So that is what a lot of people associate with strongman training. A, you don't need to look like that to do it, and B, 100% it won't do that. It is unbelievably metabolic. It is, in my opinion, strongman stuff overall has a very, very, very good, has a very strong case for saying that they are truly like more functional than almost any other training methodology, including that of a lot of stuff that CrossFit does, I'd say. So combining that kind of like heavy stuff, the heavy primal sandbag lifts, sled pushes, pulls, and then kind of, you know, seated upper body rope pull, combining those 3 different kind of approaches with some cardio kit, it just worked so well. It worked super, super, super well. In fact, I might flip it next time and do some cardio kit first to like pre-fatigue me and then go in. Hope you did enjoy that, guys. If you have not yet done so, please do subscribe. Any kind of questions or any requests of anything we do in the future, just put down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, stay strong, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I'll see you soon.